dodging it that he ends up with the wall kiss. But it looks like the 74 probably was going for a push there. But with the bumps in this track, it's so hard to get a good push because you're never really square with the bumper. And with these cars too, you notice careful with how you do it. As we get this on board here, just missing him. What a brilliant drive. I love seeing those near misses. It just goes to show you. Dip down and
look out!
As there's a door check.
Oh,
and there's another door check.
There we go.
Person get turned, and here comes the big one.
Multiple cars getting collected off of turn numbers 3 and 4. One driver slams the inside wall.
And let Ty Marasco drop like a rock because you do not want to be a part of that when he blinks in. So he caught that. He caught the rock. Oh, and I never noticed that the 83 car of Jason Greenwell actually tagged him, which is what caused him to go into the wall. So maybe just a bump. It's this.
I mean, I think it was more Hilbrands that put in 3 wide that really kind of caused a lot of this. I'm not saying Hilbrands is at fault. Let's get that clear right now. Hilbrands was not at fault for this incident, but I definitely think him putting it 3 wide is what kind of pushed Marasco up and out. 2 main pushes as behind tail down the back straightaway. Oh, more trouble. The 52 spinning to the inside. Steve Ulrich goes around. No caution on the back straight. He'll go for a 360 loop, bring it to a stop, but so far down to the concrete pad, we'll keep this race green, and we'll look.
It cost a few guys a couple fenders.
Paul Wilson took the worst of that one. He was the only car that really went fully around along with Ty Marasco. The 83 car did manage to actually save his machine for the most part, so it was a good job from the 83 car of Jason Greenwell to really save that from the inside. We'll get a look on board with the back bumper.
Looking back at this replay, he just got under him. Oh, I think he might have even.
Marasco.
Yep. Unfortunately, when you got those blinking drivers on super speedway tracks, it's tough.
Holy cow! Did you see Steve Ulrich though? Go underneath the 86.
Yeah, that's what I love about these Gen 4 cars. They have like a natural ramp design to them. Yeah, Ty Marasco blinked and. Yeah, it caused him to check up, and wow.
I think he went right underneath him.
Goodness.
I don't think he touched him. He touched the 5 of Knoll.
Yeah, let's get it on board of that. I want to see that from his perspective. I'm sure he was.
That was the lick for Dakota Knoll. We'll back this up a little bit further. So this is what Dakota Knoll saw flying up on the scene, and ouch.
Yeah, he's just.
Yikes, that is a hard hit, and then slid all the way to the inside. He's going to stuff it into the guardrail, and that's what broke the motor.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If he has a fast repair, he's definitely going to be using it that time. But nowhere you can really go in that kind of situation going that fast. But here we go. We get to see the UFO take flight.
Oh my word!
Goodness.
It took the roof camera off, but I don't know. I'm still holding the claim. I don't think they ever touched. I mean, it took the roof camera off, but
I agree with that. I think it ended up being he actually cleared him by an inch.
We'll get a better look at this one. This is slowed down to 4 times speed. Fourth of the speed, so quarter speed as Ulrich arrives on scene, and well, not quite the
camera
best
guy
it looks there. We'll back this up, and
that might make Green Flag TV's top 10.
Just barely clipped the roof, but you know what? I mean, no damage.
Cars get bumped, and people getting shoved around, so he was just Actually, that was surprisingly it was just a tag from the rear. I kind of expected a side.
A little incident there. Tony Hilbrands, I think, relatively got away with that unscathed, and he is your new race leader, and that was the hit that Kilroe took into the outside wall, kind of scraped along it there with Sean Britt, and Jason Greenwell got a pretty hefty whack of this whole mess as well. There were quite a few cars that got collected, and not in a very good way as a result of all of this. Take a look from the grandstands coming at you, and then just a wild wreck, and Bridger Olsen took a bit of a hit with Greenwell as well.
Yeah, the spectators are going to be really impressed with that wreck. More
Shelv, and oh, a big tag there to Paul Wilson, and you saw the bobble coming around through 3 and 4. Great job to keep that car underneath him. Oh, Matthew Johnson to the outside wall. Spinning on the first straightaway. Hilbrand's involved. Dees is there. The 24. The big one. Part 3 at Daytona has 6, 7, 8, 9 all involved in the tri-oval.
Oh man, we were expecting a green flag stop there. I'm really sad that we didn't get it, but it kind of looks like Hilbrand's actually got bumped a little bit of a bump draft coming out of that corner, which caused him to get a little loose. And then, with tagging the corner, the right rear corner like that on just about any car is going to cause that rear end to just save that. I can't tell if that was a snap oversteer from his car or if he just got bumped into that. But unfortunate event for both those drivers. Definitely, obviously, just totally unintentional. And Dalton Kilroe, man, is their fast repair if they have not yet because of that incident. But here we are. Is this Dalton Kilroe on board?
It is.
Oh, this is going to make iRacing top 10 highlights for sure. This needs that ESPN 98 car coming out of this turn. Oh, there was a brake check. Yeah.
He turned himself.
Unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, brake.
I don't think brake checking, more just drivers stacking up as crashing on the backstretch. No. Wilson around, spins to the grass. That was one of the messiest restarts I think we've seen all race long. I mean,
finish this race well. I don't know if Oh no, here we go with the caution. I was just getting ready to say I don't know if taking it 3 wide is the answer. Sometimes you just got to strategize well, but sometimes you got to throw that Hail Mary as well and see.
Taking a look back to this one, exiting the tri-oval from the grandstands as Nickerson went hard into the wall, and then there's somebody else at the 8-1 car that got kind of kicked up and into the air as well. So there were a few incidents.
Caught up in these incidents today.
Here. Look at that 2 car get up on 2 wheels and kind of be pinballed around, and then there goes the 81 wrecking down to the inside. Brian Dees took another vicious whack into the outside wall. With 9 laps remaining from the Daytona International Speedway, Thorpe. Okay, well, there goes 1 car in the background. The 52 of Ulrich spinning into the infield. He's going to tag off the inside wall. No yellow, though. We'll keep it green. That's a little bit of a hit there for Bridger Olsen. I'm not sure. I mean, Marasco's to the outside, but I don't think Olsen would just turn him like that. Looking into turn number 3. Oh, he came down. He went up, left the door open, just shut it at the last minute. Then he's going to take a pretty hefty punt here to the door. I mean, lifted that car up in the air and all, and then yikes for chasing Greenwell.
Yeah, great job by Greenwell to avoid that accident. Yeah, 2 cars can't fit in 1 space. That's just physics. So having these 2 guys get contacted like that, I think it's, some of the end of the race, breaking off some of that rust. They're going to have issues running into that. Ooh, great job. You get the middle line, you're bouncing around so much, you're going to be a victim either direction you go.
There we go.
As they checked into the number 20.
Sean Britt
nearly goes into the crowds with that hit. Unfortunate. Just
a bad bump from Nickerson in the back of the 81, and it sends everyone around. Watch Sean Britt here as this car takes flight coming through turn number 2. Kicked up on top of the 31. Nickerson as well going for a ride in the Coors Light number 2.
Yeah, I see Nick Nickerson down there at the bottom, Sean Britt. It looks like, is that Hilbrand's back there too that may have gotten involved in this incident? Yep, I think so. So, a lot of big names, a lot of guys that were hoping to have a good start to their season in the fight for the championship are now struggling. Look at that, 3 wide, 3 deep actually going on there, and that's recipe for a big one for sure.
I think Ty Marasco actually managed to get that thing slowed down just enough. We'll stack up, and He almost got involved.
Seems like Michael Thorpe Jr. gets a pretty decent jump coming out.
Well.
Oh, and here we go, wrecking.
There's
again,
attempt two.
Well, there goes so much for our first reattempt.
No one but himself for that.
Well, I'll tell you what, too. He'll never do that again because there's nothing worse than being in second place and missing a shift to ruin your race. So he's going to be very...
Yeah, Ulrich just drifting up the track, and gosh, the 31 took a violent hit to the outside wall. You saw the back of that car lift off the ground, and that is a harsh hit. Take a run. Thorpe's into the wall. He's going to slam into the second time. It's between Haggy and Kiro. Haggy's turn for the lead. Big crash across the line. Who makes it through? Does anyone make it through? And Michael Ashmore, side by side, 4 wide finish. Give it to Ashmore, taking the 98 car to victory lane.
This is when you can watch these guys go 4 wide across the start-finish line. Ty Marasco, just a little too close to Haggy there going through those turns. We have not seen the bump draft in the turns be successful tonight. And then watching these two guys, if they would have kept that clean, they would have been the first 2 on the podium. So it's unfortunate that they got collected. Kudos to him if he did, because that would have been devastating had he made contact there. And then here we got Michael Thorpe Jr. just getting tight. I think he braked a little.
This actually was. You take a look at this hit at speed. Goodness, that is a huge hit for the 24.
They're going to be the next ones to come down into the pit. Usually you want to follow the leader when it comes down to pit road entries. Yep, they're taking the bait. Oh, Thorpe spins trying to enter pit lane. That is not the way he wanted to see the first set of green flag pit stops. But yeah, glad there was nobody behind him because he had no way to be able to slow that up. As these guys, there's contact to bring out the caution.
They're both going to slide down, and yellow number 2 right at the halfway mark as Tony Hilburn's coming to pit road, and Ashmore was under caution when they were trying to come to pit road. Watch Bassinger enter stage right and just slam into the back of the 24. He tried to slow up, and you can tell Bassinger wasn't expecting Satmir to be there. Probably.
It looks like his left front wheel may be canted a little bit more, but bump drafting in Las Vegas, I know this wasn't intentional, but definitely a no-no. No, they don't. I think at this point you're really thinking, okay, I need to start focusing at the end of the races. Gibson's getting ready to get turned. Oh, as he catches D's as well. They are down in the grass, so we may not even see a caution here. We'll see how much speed Gibson and D's have as they return to the track, if it's going to be a caution or not. Ready to go green flag here at Phoenix.
Oh, they're wrecking already on the start! The 2 gets turned by Ty Marasco, the pole sitter Nick Nickerson. Multiple drivers involved, last year's champion Benjamin Lacey, Sean Britt, the 83 of Jason Greenwell, all involved in this front stretch melee on lap number...
Cars is just a little too much horsepower to try and manage. You think you're going to get a good jump, especially as a second place guy. That may be a gamble you want to take to try and get a better jump on first place by starting in first gear. But there's just too much power in these cars to really... Oh, definitely. And the other fact is, too, when the leader literally gets spun out, got 16 guys behind him just trying to avoid the chaos. So it actually looks a lot worse than it probably could have been if it were somebody a little further back. But... Benjamin Lacey's another one.
They're spinning behind him! The 12 hard into the outside wall in turn number 2. Matthew Chastain gets sent around off the front bumper. I believe it was Nick Nickerson. It was lap newer tires than Nickerson, but there was no way he was going to catch our race leader under green.
Yeah, no, I think that this...
So, I think he'll be just fine with that right front damage. He'll be perfectly content with it, especially because a couple other guys have to come down pit road and fix damage as well. So, he's going to pick up a couple positions on pit road and probably start in the top 6 or 7 on fresh tires. He very well could win this race.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that strategy pays off for him. I know that these guys are going to be about a second lap off of timer.
But that might take enough of his advantage out of it. He's gonna be hurt. I don't know if we can get a view of the left front of Ty Marasco, but I'm telling you, from my view, it looks hurt. Unbelievable. Thorpe Jr., I thought he had it coming out of 2. He had a decent run, but he just got swirly on the exit, clipped that kink on the inside, and his race is over. He thought he had a chance coming to the white flag. had the race potentially won before that caution flag flew. Instead, sends it spinning, does a 360. On the inside, Shearer washes out a little bit towards Ty Marasco. Oh, what? Okay, weird contact between the 12 and the 88. Coming through turns 1 and 2. Was that
able to keep alongside Nick Nickerson as we're getting ready to go down to turn number 3, and we got Greenwell spinning around entering in 3.
Good
where the
Lord.
caution comes out with looks like the 81 maybe of Dustin Ping got caught up in that as well. Turned sideways on his door there, so
and tries to find the hole. Hilbrand's going to slow up, turns the 81, and then here comes Dustin Ping, and watch this ride. He got kicked up and slammed into the catch fence, and he was punted up by the 99 of Austin McGill, also making his first start of 2024 this afternoon, and McGill with big damage early on. That was a violent wreck, though, on the back straightaway.
Austin McGill not having the debut race he was expecting to have. Oh man, that's a big wall check by Dustin Ping. He would definitely need to be using space. So you got a guy that moves up just ever so slightly and a guy moving down ever so slightly, and that miscommunication leads to both of them ending up in the wall. So too bad to see those two. I know that Tony Hilbrands is kind of open for a good showing tonight, and same with Ty Marasco to try and keep his first place in the standings. So we'll have to see how that accidents fared out for them going on later in the race. Keep his car underneath him after this last pit cycle.
Just came down, and Chastain and Breer both there, and that's a big, wild hit from Nick Nickerson getting up on underneath Tony Hilbrands.
Definitely some body damage. That was a huge check into the wall, and it wasn't really that first little bump, it was that second one where the safer barrier just came back out and chucked him right back into it. Sort of later on in the race.
On board with Haggy, and yeah, he was trying to make it to pit road and just wasn't even close to put. That's had a lot of pit road issues last season, and well, there we see another one, and that puts us under the first yellow flag of the night. Connor
involved in an incident with a lapped car, and it's also kind of frustrating being the lapped car being involved in the incident, because you know he wasn't intending to do that. It's just when we'll have to see how this fares out. Thorpe is spinning.
Dumps it into the outside wall, and that's a big hit.
That car, yeah, self-spin coming out of that corner there. These cars are a little tough to handle, and we've found out in just about every track so far this season, and Auto Club's no different as he gets a big chunk. I saw another big one coming right about here as Gibson sends him airborne, all 4 tires off the ground.
There were a lot of airborne crashes the last time we came to this racetrack as well, as Kilroe just left with nowhere to go. And it was the same story for Flager as Gibson, as he jumped down to the inside. It's a heavy blow for quite a few drivers right on board here with Dalton Kilroe. And what he saw, thinks he's down, and then all of a sudden he goes up, and there's just nowhere to go.
He ran out of the amount of time that they have in their stints with those.
Taking a look from the air as there's hit 1 and then hit 2. That's really the big one right there, is that second impact. And it's a lot as well. Contact with Origo into the outside wall. Big crash on the back chute. No yellow yet. Now the caution flag will fly. Believe that was a manually thrown yellow flag, and I think that's a good call based on what was all going on down there. And right behind this mess, it only has to be the 3-car incident. And Brian Deeks with another lucky break. Oh, that's a hard hit into the inside barrier. Once again, though, right on board with Dees as he just barely avoids another one.
But brought it 3 wide, which left no room for him between. Yeah, that's unfortunate to see that, because I don't think that Marasco was really expecting that either. Here we go as Gibson gets ready to decide where's he gonna go. Holy cow.
That is why the yellow flag came out, is because of that right there. Coulda, should have been a wreck, but it wasn't. Talk about car control.
Yeah, no kidding. Great job by Kilroe. This is not his, even better.
Oh yeah, the 86 got tight. Wareham never came down.
Yeah, you're right. So my apologies for saying it was the other way around.
He doesn't look like he's slowing up at all.
Yeah, I believe you're right. You can maybe cause them to burn up their tires. As Brasco spins.
Oh no, that's a late race caution. What we were hoping would not happen happens. Brent scrambles to the infield grass. And this changes everything. I think that forces this race into overtime. Big hit that Haggy took into that inside wall. As this is at speed. It's a heavy door check, and that was... Oh, good Lord! Drove right back on the track and knocked Wareham out. And you see Green was also spun sideways.
The frustration to come back out onto the track like that, so I hope he doesn't get too big of a penalty. Well, maybe not, but you saw him drive his car back to the inside and just ram. These overtime restarts get pretty sketchy for sure, because a lot of people are trying to, you know, maximize their position there at the end of the race, and he just flies back out onto the track. There was nowhere for him to go.
And there was no holding of the brakes there for Haggy either, I want to point out. That, I know it's frustration, right, but that easily could have been avoided. This was unnecessary. I mean, look, no brakes, no brakes, no brakes, no brakes, and boom.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that was a bit of frustration, being definitely not facing the right direction anymore after that one. But there's a lot of power in these cars and not very much aero to keep them pinned to the track, so oof. Triple spin, that's going to send him to the infield care center for sure. Yeah, I think Ping's race for sure is going to be over. Oh, he spins in the last turn here and nearly misses, or nearly hits the tires rather.
Just getting tagged around by the 55. That's, I think, a good angle to show it there. Kilrow, oh boy, going right up the middle of that group to get around them.
Kilrow is no stranger to near misses so far this season. He's been dodging them like crazy. I feel like I'm watching The Matrix when I watch him out there on the track. Wow, look at those two free spots right there.
And Sean Britt having another problem. This is a high-speed spin up over the rise of turn 3. Spins it off and hard into the tire barriers. One of the fastest corners on the circuit as, whoa, he twitched that one out on entry. And I'll tell you what, with how much he twitched that car on the entry, he is super lucky that didn't overcorrect into the wall. That could have been a monster hit. As he was coming down the hill, I'm willing to bet he locked it up on entry.
Yeah, this is another one of those corners where you have a lot of speed coming down that hill, and it's really hard to brake. And
at all on a road course. I mean, Sure going wide, spins it out, and Lacey with nowhere to go just punts him up and over. And he went for a barrel roll up at what ended up being turn 5.
Yeah, that's not good, because I think Hildebrand's, I'll have to look at the standings here. Actually, here, let me check this.
Sure just loses it, and Lacey with nowhere to go. Slams into him, and up and over goes the 4 1.5 times before slamming down on his roof. That's racing, right? The wild always tends to take place, says slammed right in the door, and I think it was just the fact he was up on the crest of the hill, and that's what kicked him up and over in these more top-heavy race cars like that.
Yeah, I was wondering if the crest of the hill played a part in that, and then look at Ty Marasco. It almost looked like a shovel that just picked up Schuer and lifted him over.
Hello.
Whoa, right there, just underneath the driver in front of you and just lift his rear end off the ground, and that's exactly what we saw here. And then straight to the inside wall. There's not much room for error at Dover because this is kind of a more narrow track, so straight.
Coming off of that second corner, and it's an easy mistake to make, and that's a hefty whack into the inside wall. And Ashmore did, in fact, manage to get around that whole mess without any stress, but that is why we are under caution now. For the
caught on the live broadcast, just missing it. It's so hard to get down to speed here.
And he in fact did find the pit wall as well. It's a bold call, though. Ping gonna go out wide, and oh, look out! Oh no! Thorpe gets taken out by a lap car, and the caution is out. Spins it around, goes for a 360 slide. He'll get it back rolling.
We got Shire and Williams battling it out, coming out there too, and they get into each other.
Hard
Shire
hit
and
the, oh, good grief. Sorry to cut you off there. A big hit, though, for Sean Williams. I think it was Nick Nickerson that went up and under him. So yeah, Marasco was slow, and that checked up this whole field, and then it was Foster. Oh boy, it was Foster that kicked Williams skyward.
I think that's the second time that Williams.
We're back to it. Oh, Ping gets loose, and he's turned by Hilbrands hard into the inside wall. They crash on the restart. Foster up into the air. They're stacking it up as they come down the front straightaway. It's just that wheel spin right. I mean, once you get in it from there, I mean, all Tony Hilbrands tried to do was slow it up, but I mean, he's got cars accelerating behind him, and with just 4 laps left to go. Oh, look out, Marasco sideways into the side of Ping. They're into the inside wall, spinning on the front straightaway. Caution's out. We're into overtime. Out of turn number 4, down to the stripe. Drag race, they're both sideways, bumping off each other, and I think Thorpe to victory lane. He's gonna take his first win of season number 2, and in commanding fashion at that. Bumping and banging against Benjamin Lacey in the third and final round between the pair. He's already fighting that car through the entry of turn 1 and eventually fully loses it on the exit. It's a very bumpy back straightaway there, especially right around those access roads at speed. Yeah, that little tap there is all it took, and whoops. Nowhere for Kilroy to go. Pulls up alongside as the end of the braking zone. Hill. Oh no! Thorpe turned by Hilbrands. Thorpe goes into the outside wall. Yellow flag is out for the second time tonight. Take another look back as he's jamming on the brakes. And it looked like just locked the rears and possibly wheel hop sent him face first. 3. Thorpe trying to see if he can pick away 4th. Contact turns him, crashing across the line, up into the air. But Shire will take the 4th place spot. Off the final corner, they make contact. Thorpe tried to side draft. Shire got turned sideways, and this time it was the 4 who was able to cross the line ahead of Michael Thorpe Jr. Up into the wall, up into the air, nearly vaulting into pit road. Spectacular crash of the final lap.
The wrong gear for this track and this acceleration and turns it right into the wall.
The Greenwell just approaches with too much speed, and the dashboard got kicked up by the 3 car there.
Few positions, but it looks like right here he's getting ready to transition to the throttle. But Lacey was not ready because he also had a car in front of him as well to get all the way up to 4th place just to get put back down to 11th where he started after that incident. Comfortable with in these Gen 4 cars. Let's see if there's another spin as Benjamin Lacey goes around once again.
Lacey's now 3 for 3. Well, I guess 3 for 4.
They'll probably survive that unless he actually took some damage to the radiator that may cause his engine to overheat, and these create a little bit of a log jam, and right now it's giving his teammate a 2-second advantage over the rest of the field as we got somebody spinning once again in turns 3 and 4.
Turn number 4, and then whoops, wild ride there for the 8.
Deep braking pushed him straight to the inside there, and then
a little whoopsie daisy, and around goes 34, and that 1 car did catch a pretty good bit of air there.
Track here, so we got Shire, D's, Ping, and
Marasco
just got into Ping, just got him turned around, and the caution comes out once again.
That is unfortunate. Ping goes from hero to 0.
Comes to top 10s as well, so we'll have to see what he has going to this final section.
No!
As we got Tony Hilbrands get spun around.
Well, that didn't take long.
Be able to see that coming, but it looks like Ty Marasco gets a little loose through that corner, and it just causes that stack up. Tonight, Dalton Caro has also been doing great as well, as we got a Thorpe getting into the back of Kilrow. And then Thorpe gets turned by Ty Marasco. I wonder if that's a little retaliation from the aggression towards his teammate. Coming out of down the front stretch into turn number 1.
Oh, there we go.
Get enough. Nope, as we got another yellow flag coming out as Foster's facing the wrong direction.
Yes, he got loose initially, and then he got help from Greenwell coming down into turn number 1.
I think parking it right there on that apron helped keep the caution from coming out, but unfortunately just a few seconds later we had this issue with Kilrow.
And for Thorpe, that was exactly what he was hoping for, because that in these Gen 4 cars, whoa, look out, Satmar going around. That's going to be a big crash up and into the outside wall. Around goes Benjamin, around goes Moore at the tail end. We've got multiple cars around, and I believe that was the 3 of Massajoe that turned around to the back, and the field is unbelievably lucky that that was not worse. Well, yeah, it's a hard lick into the outside wall too. The 34 got kicked up and into the air. That is just unfortunate. So, and this looks like a bump gone wrong. Yeah, just tags with the right rear, lifted that back up, sent him around, and then watch this here. Marasco sends that car airborne, nearly clearing the ballpark, and that is what ripped the front of that one car to shreds.
Just sends them into the air like a wing, so Steyer getting sent clear up into the fence, almost got sent to the moon on that one, and then 70 car gets nailed to the inside there. I just saw like 5 or 6 different cars.
Taking a look from the air, Brian Dees was one of the other ones that just barely avoided disaster, and holy cow, Mike Massajoe took a hard hit. David Leakey with a hard hit. I think that is... that is a view. It never went onto its roof. Holy cow. Straight away, an all-out drag race. Here comes Lacey, trying to make a run. Greenwell's turn, Foster's turn. Lacey shoots for it up the middle, and Benjamin Lacey goes 3 for 3. He's going to take his third win of the 2024 campaign.
Hilbrands that opportunity to take that bottom line away, and Greenwell was not expecting him to be down there. So got him pinched up, got Hilbrand's turn. Looks like you have Aaron Smith got turned as well with a few other guys alongside him. Just absolute chaos toward the back of that race as Aaron Smith crosses the line backwards. Ashmore crosses the line backwards. Greenwell, Thorpe.
This is going to be at speed. Watch the 34 here, back of the field, right there. Kicked up on his side, almost went roof first, directly into the fence. That could have been a monster of an incident. There you see Chris Berg, Dustin Ping, and more all getting turned around. Paul Satmary went around at the back of the field as well. Oh, that's a hard lick into the outside wall for Berg after the fact. This is, once again, tracking that 34 car, the one that had arguably the most wild ride of the bunch, and just got turned on his side on a heavy lick.
Yeah, it looked like they got almost 4 or 5 wide crossing that tri-oval there. So it just sucks because you really, after a while, you get used to how cars can spin on the track and how to have good wreck avoidance. But when a car just goes away that you weren't expecting, there's just nowhere to go at that point.
On board. He just didn't know where to go. Hard to blame him for that one.
I agree.
But we will not have a caution. Just kicks the back end out and slides way down into the infield grass before coming back out onto the racetrack.
That
made it look a little worse than what he was probably expecting.
It's a hard hit that Master took into the side and then again up into the wall. And then take a look on more with Carter Phillips. And he's the one that rebounded big time into the outside wall. It's a lot of damage on the nose of that number 30 machine from EC Sim Sports, so Phillips is going to have to help working his way up and around the top shelf of the racetrack in an old Ford Taurus. Oh, trouble! Fourth around on the back straightaway, hard into the wall. He's going to spin in the round, and the yellow flag is out.
Thorpe looking like he has an issue there. I see some...
Big lockup getting in, but I think he managed to get away with that one. Well, but Scott Shire did not. Shire's around, and that is going to cost them big time. No yellow flag. Here comes Thorpe, who was all sorts of sideways coming down to pit road. All right, we'll try to track down what happened to... Oh, there it is. Caught the outside wall off to it. Oh, boy. Talk about a wallop right into the inside wall. Yeah, I don't think they ever touched. He just kind of spun that one around all by his lonesome. At speed. Ouch. You want to talk about a hard lick? That is a lick. On board. Hang on. At speed, and yeah, I don't think Hillbrands realized they were still 3 wide. It's not a hard lick for Brian Dees. That is all very repairable damage. I mean, he went down to try to avoid. There's nothing malicious there. Thor wasn't trying to wreck him or anything. That's just, you picked the wrong lane to try to avoid that. Oh.
He had the entire field ready to pass him as soon as he made that incident. And look at that, just got a little loose in that corner, got caught into the wall, and then spun around and back end and into the wall once again.
And Pink was side by side with Brian Dees, and Dees got checked up, and Kilbro spun it around, nowhere for Hillbrands to go. And then in the background, there is Shire, just overshot, had to cut across the chicane, so a lucky escape there for him. Oh, whoa! Just lost the tail end on entry, and lucky not to send that one into the barrier.
These young drivers, these rookie drivers, and he's learning a lot, I'm sure, from his car tonight, and be able to use this information. Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a weird one. That's a really weird one.
Be able to give himself the best opportunity, as it looks like we have a lockup going into 1.
And Satmary locked up, overcorrected, slid to a stop right on pit exit. No with the margins. One driver taking too much. Was already losing on the entry and then just kind of looped it around. Went for a very lazy spin. Didn't hit anything though. Got himself rolling. Nobody else was around him. No harm. It was already Wounded Warrior before, and it looks like took too much grass, looped it on the curb, and slammed into the wall. And it looks like that may have broken something on the number 30. Happened to the number 31. Hit the wall again in 3 and 4. This time, though, lost it fully way downside, and tanked the inside barrier. Off of turn 1, you can already see him started to break loose, and eventually the car just went. So he was saving that thing for about half a lap.
Yeah, it looked like there was maybe too much heat in the tires, because anytime he would apply the throttle, it would just want to snap loose on him. And great job by him to try and keep that straight.
I hate to say it, but a lot of this wasn't even necessary. His problem was he keeps on stamping the throttle, trying to keep the momentum up, but all that does is spin the wheels and stick it further out. I mean, when you got to give the car time to settle. He's not a fortunate run for him. Just got loose coming out of turns 1 and 2. Slid all the way to the bottom and hard hit into the inside wall. You also saw a position swap between off the hitch. Taking a look again, and And you see the wreck all down to the inside. Benjamin Lacey just barely managing to squeak through that mess.
Well, this is exactly what Dustin Ping needed to get himself a little closer to his cob, to have a race control, to be able to control that situation and get everybody back on the lead lap. Hopefully no more mistakes like this as we get ready to go green flag once again. I think cooler heads is going to prevail. We're going to start settling in, see some. We're going to go that lower gear to try and get that jump because you really want to get that good field position. But unfortunately, it's a really tricky endeavor to try and force that car to keep the wheels underneath it with that much horsepower. Down into pit road. Man, it's got to be frustrating being involved in the third incident of somebody spinning out. But when you get a little further back like that, you tend to get caught up in those kind of incidents. And so once again, he's not having the race that yeah, exactly. It's been a terrible start for just about everybody at this point. But this single file restart, I'm really hoping can allow for some quick green flag running.
That's half the field that got collected in that mess too, and including your pole sitter.
He can use this opportunity to try and recover the race and keep himself in the hunt.
At speed, pedaling that car all throughout the corner, just kept it off the outside wall, looped it all the way around, and never hit anything. So we have to give him big props for that. Let's ride on board with Thorpe here. Did he go around? Yes. Was he already on the back of the field? Also, yes. So he's able to save the car from the worst of the damage. You heard him gas it up there as well, just to make sure that that car didn't go into the outside wall. And that definitely saved the damage.
Wow. Absolutely beautiful wreck. Avoidance of the wreck. Absolutely beautiful spin. I think he deserves the trophy this year for most impressive spins for sure, and saves himself for another opportunity to be able to overcome this adversity. The strategy call, I thought for sure it was going to be a caution flag as well. He was pretty much right there in the line as he gets loose, just going down the stretch.
I'm not a fan about how those wheels kept turning dead to the right there. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of that at all.
Watch the onboard here.
We'll back it up a little bit more. I feel like there might be some context missing here. So taking a look, that car's way up high as it is. And stepping it out and just, he got into it and then wheel turn hard right, and there was no intention to try to straighten that car up after it turned to the outside wall. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I have a ton of experience like the rest of these guys have, and so that's just another learning experience for him on how these cars handle at a track like this. And
Control will rule this. He was wrecking all the way through that car.
I was going to say, I imagine that the fault will go to Brian Dees for that one, which is not what he wanted if he's trying to make his way into the Final Four.
Just got loose again. And he got hit by the 75. Tell you what, Ashmore, second time, did a good job on locking that thing. Went around to bring out this yellow flag. Oh yeah, got stacked up by Jason Greenwell, and David Leakey just had nowhere to take that run.
Front of the field, O'Brien sitting at second.
Oh, he's lost it!
Oh!
Around goes the 2, and that won't be it will be a caution. Thought we weren't going to get the call at first because he was so far down to the racetrack. 17, what happened here? Oh, caught the wall, big. Oh, and then the inside wall. 3 and 4, they make contact once and twice, off the corner, another drag race out to the right, just like Dover, they wreck, Smith wins, Thorpe in second, is it enough? Is it enough for Thorpe to make it into the Final Four? Because he was really slow coming off of turn 4, whoa boy, look out! Holy cow! The step out and the save for the number 34, that is a right and a half. And take a look at speed. Oh my goodness. Big twitch right on the entry there. That's a weird spin to have happen there. Let's take a look on board. Oh, it just snapped. It was going around him already. He just overreacted.
That was really tough to save once it snapped out over. steer like that going
Oh,
into the
boy.
corner and then just overcorrecting it.